Okay, Money in the Bank 2023 review. First match, oh, in London, England, of course. First match was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was with 7 people, six qualified, and Logan Paul he just got high status, so yeah, he went in. But anyway, rating that I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10, and I don't know. There were good spots in there, like that Ricochet spot, which to be fair, I think it was from a botch, and those Logan's spots were pretty decent as well. Pete Dunne's or Butch's thing, moonsaults and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like it wasn't as extreme, and I kind of overhyped it in my head. So it was just like, it's okay. This match is okay. It wasn't a bad match. The winner wasn't bad at all because it adds layers to, like, I guess the breakup of the Judgment Day, but and it played a factor in another match I'm going to get into soon. But these decent match. Like, fair enough, LA Knight didn't win despite being the fan favorite and whatnot. But I know he's old, but I think he's still got time. I think he's still got time. Maybe not like 5 years, maybe not 10 years time, but I can see him staying around for 5 years to try and win Money in the Bank, and I think one of those years he will, if not next year. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad match at all, but I feel like there have been better ones in previous years. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 is my final prediction. Final review of it. Final rating of it. Better. Okay, second match on Money in the Bank. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, the Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm trying not to say Gonzalez, but it's hard, you know. Anyway, yeah, so Ronda and Shayna were the champions, and I don't want to make this review too long because of how much I care about the women's tag titles, which is very little. So I'm just going to keep the review short and sweet by saying, didn't really care for the match. I understand why it was on the cards because Shayna turned on Ronda and cost her the titles. So because of that, I'm going to rate the match a 6 out of 10. And that's because I didn't care about the match that much. Was the match bad? I just I actually don't remember much about that match. It was just a decent match. You can, like, that's a match they can have on SmackDown that I can see. I don't think it was for pay-per-view. It was only because of the turn. That's why it was on the pay-per-view. So yeah, 6 out of 10. It was like, I like, hopefully Shayna can actually go back to how she was in NXT. Despite me hating how she was in NXT, I kind of like it now because how she was in NXT is how Roman Reigns is now. So if she can go back to that state, then cool. Because how she is now is nah, they've done her dirty ever since her loss at Mania 36. But yeah, 6 out of 10. Good way to advance storyline, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that because if I want to talk about the women's tag titles, I'll do that in another video, not this one. Third match, Gunther v Matt Riddle. I didn't really know too much about Riddle's injury because I didn't actually see the last 2 weeks of Raw leading up to Money in the Bank. But 8 out of 10. It was a good match. It was, despite Riddle's injury, it was still hard hitting. It was still just a very solid match from both Gunther and whoever he's up against. So yeah, Gunther's really struggling to have a bad match, which is a good thing because I still hold the grudge as what they did to Gunther in Survivor Series 2019. I think that's the only downside to that Survivor Series. Other than that, I really enjoyed it, but that's a story for another day. But decent match, 8 out of 10. Gunther got the win, but hey, it's time. It's time. SummerSlam or whenever. We need Sheamus one way or another. Even though they're on two different brands now, we need Sheamus to have written in my face and beat Gunther for the title. It's time. It's time. Fourth match, Dominic Mysterio v Cody Rhodes. But yeah, I rated the match a 6 out of 10. It was a decent match. I'm happy Cody's still on getting pay-per-view matches because of how hot his run is. I'm happy Cody is, despite his loss at Mania, I'm happy Cody is still getting pay-per-view matches. I'm happy Cody's still there because I think they still want Cody. I feel like Cody and Roman is still a good chance. I was saying SummerSlam. I'm going to just start saying Mania 40 now. It's a nice filler match, if I'm being honest, in Cody's run. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a nice filler match, but yeah. I'm pretty sure Cody and Brock are going to face one more time at SummerSlam because they're one win apiece, and Cody seems like he wants to fight him again. So yeah, and because I haven't seen Raw, him and Brock might have already had a confrontation or just a face off. But yeah, uh, in terms of this match though, 6 out of 10, can't really complain. It did its job. All right, sixth match, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I gave this match a 7 out of 10. Um, I don't know. I feel like because there were 6 people, I feel like it felt small. I feel like if they had seven, seven should be the minimum. Because 6 just felt unless it was 6 people, it was a 6-person free fall, but it was because there were 2 sets of tag teams there, and then Becky and Zelina. It just, I don't know, it just felt small like that. It should have been a free for all, or they should have had different people gunning for it, and maybe like like Zoe Stark, and then have Trish in her corner, Bailey and Io. That made sense, but I think because of that, they should have had one extra person, and then Trish and Zoe. I think Trish should have just been in her corner. But 7 out of 10, there was good spots. The ending was good. The way Bailey thing stopped Io from getting a contract, and then Io locked Becky and Bailey, so none of them could get it, so she can walk to get it. So yeah, it was good. And the Selena code red off the ladder looked painful, but it was a good spot as well. So good spots. I think it was slightly weaker than the men's one, but it had a good ending, so that's what I liked about it. I'm sticking by what I said. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Slightly weaker than the men's one, but still had good spots. Still a solid match, so I can't complain. 7 out of 10. Seth freaking Rollins v Finn Balor. Now, I gave it an 8 out of 10 in my notes, but I feel like I'll give it a 7. I don't know. I feel like. I think my mind's conflicted on whether I should give. I think it's more than a 7, but I'm not sure if I want to give it a 7. I'm not 7. I meant to say 7.5. I'm conflicted if I want to give it a 7.5 or an 8. So 7.75. That's the best way I can. That's the best thing I can do. Yeah, very decent match. The twist when Damian Priest came out looking like he was going to cash it in to make it a triple threat match. It's also a nice change of pace, seeing as how every year up until last year, it's just been the women cashing in on the same day, but now it was, or a day after, but now it was literally the men doing that. I think they haven't done that in a while. I can't remember the last time a man did that, if ever. I'm pretty sure they have though. Yeah, the ending was smart as well, because I think Damian costing Finn like how he did. Whether it was intentional or unintentional, don't know, but it was a smart ending. Dissension in the Judgment Day as well, so between those two, so it's gonna look good. But if I had to give my prediction as to how Judgment Day is gonna go, I haven't seen Raw yet, so this is just my prediction without seeing Raw or any information about the Raw after Money in the Bank. I think JD McDonough is going to. I think he's going to attack Damian Priest along with Finn, and then that's gonna take him out and then add him in. But yeah, 8 out of 10. Decent match and decent storyline advancement, so can't complain. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stick with 8 out of 10 because it was a decent match and it advanced the storyline. So I'll stick with 8 out of 10 actually. Forget 7.75. It's 8 out of 10. Alright, 7th and final match on the cards. The Usos v the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Now, because I really wanted to avoid any type of spoilers and stuff, but because like I follow or just watch so many wrestling content, it's so hard for me to do that. So I kind of saw how this match, I kind of saw info of how this match ended, but I didn't see any of the match until I watched it myself. So I'm not going to base it off that. I'm going to base it off if I was to watch it for the first time. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because that match was very good, and I think I would have loved to watch that match live or without any spoilers. But the reason why I gave it a 9 and not a 10 is because I feel like that if I would have loved it if that match was neck and neck, but I feel like that match was. It was kind of the Usos kicking out of everything, and then when the Usos did one big move, when the ref was actually conscious and like ready for the count the pin, they got the win. So I don't know. I don't think it was that balanced because it's kind of like how some of Roman matches has been, where especially that John Cena match back in 2021 at SummerSlam, where literally Cena did 3 AAs, Roman kicked out all of them, Roman did 1 spear, and then he won. Like literally the Uso, like in this match, Roman and Solo did a spear, Simone spike combination, I think, then another spear, Superman punch, all that stuff. The Usos kicked out. Roman did a Superman punch, then a spear. Jey Uso kicked out, and then Uso did 1 splash, and then they won. So I don't know. I mean, it makes their finish a little more impactful, which is what I like. But at the same time, how's Roman Reigns doing all those spears just for you to do 1 thing, splash, and then you get the 1, 2, 3, and that is his first loss ever since Baron Corbin of 2019. I mean, that's kind of a nitpick, but it's my opinion anyway, so it don't really matter. But yeah, if it was a bit more balanced, where it was just like, if the Uso did a splash, Roman kicked out, Roman did a spear, Usos kicked out, then maybe Roman attempted a spear, miss, Usos did their splash again, 1, 2, 3. I would have rated it a 10 out of 10. But other than that, very solid match, very good booking. The Usos did struggle at the start of the match. Solo and Roman were dominating at the start, but then the Usos got the win. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from here. But yeah, that is it for my review of Money in the Bank. Let me know if you want me to do more reviews of this in future, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video.